What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, Detail with Jess. Today I want to talk to you about getting clients, especially a lot of people that are new, just getting started in business. They're always asking, like, how do I get clients, or how do I get my first client? How do I get started? So I'm down here in Florida. If you haven't been following around, I'm not from Florida. I don't have any connections in Florida. And getting business down here has been literally starting from scratch. So I'm just going to share with you, we've got 4 details this week, and I'm just going to take you through my week and share with you how I've gotten all these details, and we'll talk about the types of details we're doing as well. So I'm getting my water filled up right now as we speak, and we are heading an hour south to do a detail, an interior and exterior detail on I think it's like a Ford dually. This client I got via Facebook ads. I've been running an ad, and I opted to start running an ad outside of the area I live in. Currently living within Orlando, the Orlando vicinity, and it's just so saturated. So I decided to target more of the more rural areas where mobile detailers aren't really willing to drive out that way. That's been my key strategy in my Facebook ads. All right, guys, so we traveled an hour south, and when I say we are out in the middle of nowhere, I mean we are out in the middle of nowhere. This is actually one of my favorite areas in Florida, but we're not even on a road. We're on a trail. But this vehicle, this big old dually, is a bit dirty, but nothing too crazy. I didn't realize there was going to be dog hair, but the dog hair, it's a little bit longer. Longer dog hair is really not too difficult to get removed, so I don't charge any extra for that in this particular case. If this vehicle was in absolutely horrific condition, I would have a conversation with the client, but it's gonna come up pretty good. And trucks, especially with the back seats that flip up, it's pretty easy to get those clean, and it goes pretty fast. So I'm just gonna get to work here, and we're gonna clean this bad boy up. Now, we are doing a full interior and exterior detail on this dually, and I'm not recording the whole process for you because that'd make for a really long video for 4 details, but just giving you some quick snippets of what's going down here in this detail. This particular client was a bit chatty, and sometimes that makes detailing a bit tricky when you really are just trying to get a job done and get in and out and make it as time effective as possible for yourself, but it also does do you some good to build that rapport and build that relationship with the client. So we did chat quite a bit throughout this detail. While it makes it tricky for the detail and to get work done, it did lead to another detail. So it is so helpful to chat with your clients. Now, these seats did not get extracted. It was not part of the detail package. Sometimes I touch them up a bit, but in this case, due to all the excess dog hair and the sand that was in the vehicle, I didn't go that extra above and beyond step. And we just did a good detail, and that's what the client was looking for, and he was happy with it. And good morning. We are back for day 2 of the second detail this week. Yesterday's detail went really well, and I think this is a super important key. You have to have that time to talk to your customer. If they want to get chatty, give them that moment to get chatty, because it creates so much rapport with your client. They get to know you. The more that they like you, the more they want to help you, the more they want to refer you. And then if you do good work at the end, they're even more likely to want to refer you. So that client had really great rapport, took the time to chat with them. It may have taken an extra 30 minutes, but at the end of that detail, he ended up asking us to look at a camper that he has that he wants to sell. I'm going to send him over a quote. I just needed to look some things up. I don't typically do quotes. Now we're looking at another job that's a $350 job. So it's so important, I think, to have that quick few minutes of rapport building with your clients. That's my tips for day 1 of getting clients. Now we're on to day 2. Day 2's client, we're heading over to do a interior detail on their Jeep Grand Cherokee. This detail came from posting on Facebook in a public forum. I posted who I am, what I do, links to my Facebook page, which then also have links to my business and my Google reviews. Lots and lots and lots of videos on my Facebook page, which are super good at people building trust before knowing you. I think social media is so big, and Facebook has been huge for my business just from posting content. It builds that trust. This is a client that saw a Facebook post and they were like, oh my gosh, I'm here on vacation. I wanted to get my car clean, but just haven't had time. We've been running around to all the parks. Can you fit me in? Like, yeah, let's get you in Sunday morning. Does that work? And they were so stoked to have me able to get to them so quick, so soon. Public forums are another step to getting clients. Like, post in there, be active in there. Every town, every community has a Facebook group these days. So no matter what town you live in, like, get in that Facebook group and get active in there. Let people know who you are. Make sure your business profile, you have a business profile, and that it is it's accessible. Like, people can tag you. Sometimes your business needs to be a member of that Facebook group in order for people to tag you and have that tag be live. So if necessary, get your business to be a member of that Facebook group. So as I look over this vehicle, guys, I share with you all the time that I always do before and after videos. I probably 99% of the time do videos and not photos. I rarely ever take photos. But as I'm looking over this vehicle, I'm noticing it is dusty. The amazing thing is that there are floor mats extending throughout the entire vehicle, much like a minivan. So that's going to make this detail easy. But I can tell that this person does smoke. There's a lot of ash in the vehicle, and ash in a vehicle is kind of difficult to clean because it's just so light and floaty. So that's probably going to be the biggest challenge, along with all of the rails in this vehicle. This vehicle took about 2 hours to detail. It's been really nice having an extra hand down here in Florida to really speed things up with the details. And the client came out after the fact, and that truck that's sitting over there, they now want us to do that interior. So they were really happy with the results, really happy with the quick response, the service, being on time, showing up, and now we've got that vehicle booked as well. So it pays so much to just be friendly, show up on time, and do the work right. That detail is complete, and from that detail we just got another detail. Yeah, another one booked. So now we're at 5 for the week. Tips again is just like, be friendly, talk with the clients. Like, the more that they get to know you, I'm telling you, it pays off so much. So be as personal as possible, as friendly as possible. Immediately call everybody by name. So I show up like, hi Dallas, how are you? Like, act like you know who they are. You're meant to be there. Don't act like, are you Dallas? I'm Jess. Like, no. Hey Dallas, what's going on? Like, show up like you're meant to be there. Be personable, put a smile on your face, do a good job, and get more details. All right, so we are heading off to detail number 3 for the week. Ended up having to reschedule yesterday's detail for tomorrow just because of weather and the rain. And today it's freezing cold. This detail came from somebody that I met at the gym. So I go to the gym same time every morning. This other gentleman goes to the gym at the same time every morning. And his brother wanted an interior. His brother lives in the community as well. He wanted an interior detail on his truck. And that's how I got this client. This client wasn't initially planning on being here when we made this appointment, so we made arrangements and had the communication to get the keys and payment squared away if he wasn't here, but he did end up showing up before the end of the detail. And I share that just to stress the importance of communication, especially when you're mobile with your clients. Now, this vehicle was a little bit dirtier than I was anticipating when I showed up, but really still no big deal. There was just a lot of sand and a lot of sand in the floor and in the cracks of the seats. But this client's from Michigan, and a lot of you asked, what are you going to do with all your clients when you leave Florida? Most of my clients, I'd say 99% of them down here, are snowbirds. So they're not going to be here either. They're leaving when I leave. If you've watched my previous videos, you know that my husband is working with me down here in Florida. So we have finally gotten our process down to a T, and all of our interior details are taking right around 2 hours. And those are some like in-depth details. It usually takes me about 3.5 to 4. And we've got a really good process happening. We start off by doing a quick Tornador air compression and vacuum together, and then all go into the interior cleaning, and he'll start doing the floor mats and the door jambs, and typically by the time I'm done, he's done and we're finished. That detail went very well. He said I'll definitely give me some references, and again, just that detail came from having that personal connection with people. And I feel like I get some great clients that find me through Google, so I'm not saying that this is the only way to get great clients, but one of the best ways to get great clients is definitely through face-to-face. I think like you tend to attract what you put out there in the world. Just the law of attraction is just a fact. also tend to attract some great people, respectful people, and they gave me a $60 tip, which I was not expecting. That was really kind. And on to the next tomorrow. All right, guys, detail number 4 went down, and let's talk about how we got that detail. So my husband was in a golf tournament, and he was teamed up with 3 other people that he did not know, and one of the persons within his team started talking about needing their truck detailed or something. I don't know what the exact conversation was. And then another guy was like, oh yeah, I need to get my truck cleaned. And so my husband's like, oh, my wife's actually a detailer. So he ended up setting up a time. He comes home and he's like, hey, you got to go over to this guy's house at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I showed up. He seemed a little surprised that I even showed up. And we chatted, looked over the truck, and we did a full interior, exterior, and clay bar on that vehicle. So as you can see in the 4 details that I did, they've come from all different places. One came from Facebook ads, one came from a public post forum, just like advertising my business, and the other 2 came from face-to-face contact. And so much of my business up north comes from the same thing. It's getting face-to-face, it's telling people what you do, but then the other percentage of it is also that advertising that you do between social media. Google is huge in my business. So those are the biggest avenues in which I get clients. And I hope me showing you in real time how I'm actually getting clients with zero network gives you a little inspiration or gives you a little bit of insight as to how to get clients. And then those clients it usually just is a domino effect, and they'll just keep coming from that based off of referrals, based off of, oh, I want to get my car done now that I saw how you did my husband's car. And it typically just like keeps going. So awesome. Guys, I just want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you found it helpful, if you found it knowledgeable, if you were just entertained, whatever it may be, give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out. Also, if there's anything that you guys want to see more of, any questions you have, let me know in the comments below. It helps me just create more content that you want to see. But other than that, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you next week.